Hi, I'm Dr. V. Boykin, a former single mom stripper, felon, now doctor, keynote speaker, and author of Fix Your Face and Watch Your Tone. I help marginalized communities achieve a more equitable personal and professional experience. I know why Obama did it. I know why Snoop is doing it. I even think Nelly's going to do it too. Anyways, the bigger point, I know why. And if you think back to the poem, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings, you'll know why too. But to be even more specific, literally, this happens all the time. So there's a lot of criticism right now over Obama, who was talking with Trump at Carter's funeral, and Snoop Dogg, who has said some very caustic words about Trump, who's going to perform at the inauguration or performed at the ball for the inauguration, all the things I'm not invited to. And there's also questions about other artists and performers. I want to talk about specifically the Black performers and specifically the reaction from the community. But first, I want to talk to you, allies.
You. Yes, me.
That's right. Allies, I'm going to let you in on a secret. Every single Black person that you talk to or know of in your work environment has done exactly what Obama has done. Every single one of us. We have all literally had to talk to someone in the workplace that we think is inherently racist, has committed racist acts, or has said racist words. Every single one of us. Go ahead, send a team poll and just ask, have you had to code switch?
This term code switching, which is that you adapt to the cultural environment that you are in that moment. Your movements, your speech, the way you speak, syntax, everything.
In order to work in your job. Have you had to interact with someone in the workplace that you think is racist, like at their core, or has said something that you know is racist, or has made actions in terms of promotions or pulling people into assignments or anything like that? Have you had to hold your tongue? Have you had to step back in and work with them? The answer is going to be yes. Now, they'll probably say, not in this particular job I'm in now, but they will all be able to remember the time that they had to do it. And that's not even when you have those high profile jobs. This is even when you're like the janitor.
Hey, Willie, catch the football!
All right.
You know that janitor is saying hello to some kid in a school right now. Thank you, janitors, for all your work. And they know that kid is privileged and racist, which are two separate things, but a lot of times can be joined together. So here's the thing. If you were actually to ask Black people to stop talking to racist white people, everything would go silent. It would go silent. There'd be no one talking, no one collaborating, and no one working together because there has been so much systemic racism embedded into the fiber of all that we do. If that were the standard, there would be no conversation. There'd also be like no employment. It's just true. It's the experience. And if you think I'm wrong, send that team poll. Send it anonymously. Casually ask them, hey, have you ever had to, like in the workplace, talk to somebody you thought was racist, but you still had to talk to them? Better yet, ask them if they've had to smile while doing it. That's right. And appear happy. And this is why the act that Michelle Obama did is causing so much disruption because we don't get to say no thank you. If we don't attend something, it's a big deal. Now, that's not true for other groups, especially the ones that aren't marginalized, right? They just took a stand. But when we take a knee or we take an absence or we say no without qualification, there's problems. There's problems. And that's what you're seeing now. So should they not do it? Should they take a stand? Should they have this higher calling principled thing going on? Should they get their money? I mean, why is it that they have to be held to the standard where they shouldn't do this or shouldn't do that? Because personally, I don't like being should on. And I don't think it's right to put someone on a pedestal and say, you now represent all Black people. And if you perform, or if you speak, or if you shake hands, you're the problem. Because they're talking about Michelle Obama not attending the inauguration. They're not making as much noise, and there's definitely not as much criticism about Bush simply saying, I ain't going to talk to that man. Not today. Laura, let's go. It's a different standard. It's a different standard in the professional workplace. So, yeah, I see them rolling back their words. Yeah, I see them taking that money. Yeah, I feel a certain way about it. But I also understand it because we do it every single solitary day. That one Black person on your team, that's right, they're representing the entire race. That's what you've asked them to do. You're probably asking them to do it during Black History Month, where you're asking them to run the event or what should be done for the event, or if the event was good enough. You're asking them every single day when you know that they're being snubbed, slighted, or characterized as assertive, aggressive, or any other stereotypical thing that is assigned to people from marginalized communities in order to try and categorically disenfranchise them from the workplace. You're doing it. They're doing it every day. We don't call it shucking and jiving anymore. We a lot of times call it code switching. When we're really happy, even when we know you're stabbing us in the back for no other reason other than we have the audacity to show up and try and do not good work, but excellent work. So I know why Obama did it. I know why Snoop is doing it. I definitely know why Michelle is doing it. What I don't understand is why you're so surprised by it. They're not going to get demonized by me because I know the toll and the price that I pay every single day I go to work where I'm the only, or maybe there's two. And now, as you're removing DEI, we know more than ever to run for the hills. We know more than ever that we absolutely cannot afford to not talk to the ones we think are racist because they're about to make every single solitary legal decision out there. They're the ones holding the keys. They're the ones dismantling the DEI programs. So please stop talking about what they're doing and start talking about the structures that are asking them to do it, forcing us to do it day after day after day. You want to know why we're so irritated? Because we are doing it and we know we're doing it. And every once in a while, it creeps in just enough where we get really pissed off. That's a bad day. We try not to have those days. Those days tend to lose your job. So it's something to think about. But just what would happen if you went to work and asked how many of them had to code switch? How many of them had to take that money? How many of them had to say hello when they didn't want to? How many of them had to have incredibly lighthearted conversations with people they think are inherently racist? You'd probably be surprised, but we wouldn't. If you liked or learned from this content, please subscribe or comment below and be part of spreading the word and helping my channel grow.